Hello, my name is Steve and I'm with Graphic&Design. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create spirals and curls using Affinity Designer. For this tutorial, I'm using Affinity Designer 1.7.3. Okay, before we start, like always, go to the toolbar top and File, we click New. I'm using my usual 1920 by 1080 at 300 dpi with non-transparent background. You can use any dimensions that you want and you leave the rest as it is. So I'm going to click OK. Okay, before we continue, remember to go to View and make sure that you have selected Show Guides, Show Rulers, Show Context Toolbar, and Show Toolbar. Perfect. With that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, to create the spirals or curves in Affinity Designer, you don't have like in other software a tool that you click in there and you bring it and you create it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of math. By the way, don't panic, it's not really that complicated. Just only a few things that you need to take in consideration when you are going to create them according to what you want to do. So let's get started first with a donut. So I'm going to use always the same thing, is you hit and hold Command or Control in a PC and Shift, click and drag to make a proportional shape. Release everything, and with the donut what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like this. So basically it's a line, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a quarter. Perfect. Now that we are there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to convert it into a curve. For that, you go to your contextual toolbar at the top and let's click Convert to Curves. Perfect. Oh, sorry. Now that we are there, forgot. I need to select just only one pixel, so we see what we are doing. To create the spiral, when you select this arc, make sure that when we come here to the transform, make sure that you click that that symbol there that makes both sides exactly the same, so they are linked in between them. So if you modify one, the other one is going to be modified in the same way. Now to create the curve, basically what we need is we need to increase the radius of this curve every time that we make a copy. Let me show you how it's done. It's very simple. It's simpler than you think. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Command or Control and a PC and J to duplicate. Now that I have that one, what I'm going to do is I'm coming here to my transform tool and to my transform tab, and I'm going to click in there, and then I'm going to put the star for the multiplication, and now the number that you choose is how big is going to become, or the space in between each of the turns of your spiral. Let me show you. If I use, for example, 1.05 and I hit enter, and then I come here, let me zoom in so we can see much better what I'm doing. If I come here and I move it, I rotate it 90 degrees and I place it right there, and now I hit Command J several times, you see how it's doing the curve. So what happened is the distance is increasing with each one of the turns. That one, it shouldn't be done like that if you are using or you want to create what is called spiral. If you want to use what is called, I think, Archimedean spirals, sorry, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'm under correction. If you know better, just leave the comment in the section down below. So if I increase that number, the distance in between each turn is going to be even bigger. Let me show you. Let me undo this there. So now what I'm going to do is, if I click there and I put again start for the multiplication, and I put 1 point, let's put 4, and I click enter, as you can see now it's bigger. So now if I put it like this and I use Ctrl J and I zoom out, as you can see, this is actually quite big, and the space is bigger in between each turn. So that number, that multiplication number, is going to make it smaller or bigger. So that depends up to you on how you want to do it, to put it on the in any drawing that you are doing. Okay, now one trick is, if you are using the ratio is 1.618, you are basically creating what is called the golden ratio, and it follows exactly the same principle. So now that we have that, let's make something with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one as well. So first, what I'm going to do, with all selected, I'm coming here to the top, I'm going to layer, and I'm going to span stroke. Okay, now all those that are selected, I'm coming here to the top again to my geometry, and I click add. So now you can see all of them are just only one, and I'm going to click all these ones and I'm going to delete them. So this one that I got here, I'm going to give it some stroke. Let's make it 1 pixel or a little bit more. Now let's make it 1 pixel. And I'm going to choose scale with object. Hold a second, let me make it 1. Perfect. Now that we have that, you can scale this, for example, something like this. Let's make it, let's come here. No. Okay. Let's make that, and let's make it a little bit bigger again. I think something like that goes fine. So now, for example, if we want to recreate something like this, it's very simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pen tool, and I'm going to choose smart mode, and I'm going to choose as well rubber band, so I can see what I'm doing more or less. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in there, I'm going to click in there, another one there, something like this, and let's make it there. I think like that is fine. So what I'm going to do, now that I got that one, I also going again to the top, to layer and expand stroke. Good. Now that we have it like this, now I'm going to make a bunch of copies of these ones. Okay. And I'm going to flip them like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, let's zoom in. So let's start putting them somewhere here, giving some form to all these. Okay, so I'm going to speed it up while I'm doing this, so I don't bore you to death with this, because it's almost the same, but you get the drill and how to do it. I think in the forum somebody put a way how to do it, or asked the question how to do it. I know, again, it's not the perfect solution, because it will be nice to have a function like you have in Adobe Illustrator or something like that. Unfortunately, we don't have that, so we need to make it with what we have. Let me select absolutely everything, and I'm going to my geometry and add, so we create just only one. And what I'm going to do, obviously, I'm going to bring the stroke, I'm going to make it smaller. And now if you want, you can actually duplicate this and maybe rotate it something like this, and you can put one there, you can put one there. That is up to you now that you know how to do it. And something that I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to group them, make it smaller, something like that. I think it's like this is fine. And let me go back there. Like I always do, I'm going to create a background. So I'm going to put it there. No stroke for the background, and the color I'm going to choose black, and I'm going to move it down. Now I'm going to select this one, and the color stroke, let's make it white, and there you have it. That is the way how you can create these kind of curls or spirals using Affinity Designer. Okay, I think that is for this video. I hope you like it. If you did, please remember to subscribe, give the thumbs up, hit the notification bell, share the video. It means a lot to me if you do. Actually, it helps as well with the algorithm on YouTube to pop my channel up. We'll really appreciate any support from you guys. So anyway, any comment, leave them in the section down below. Thank you very much for watching, and like always, I'm seeing you in the next video.